No one saw it coming. Not the cast, not the crew, and definitely not Rasheeda. What happened that day became one of the most shocking moments ever seen on Love and Hip Hop. Cameras captured Kirk Frost losing control in a way that stunned everyone, leaving Rasheeda crying on set. The footage hadn't even been fully released before it blew up all over social media. Fans wanted answers, and producers rushed to control the damage, but it was already too late. It started like any other filming day. Just another scene between two people who had been together for years. But something inside Kirk snapped. Voices got louder, accusations flew, and then came the moment that nobody could believe. Kirk lunged at Rasheeda. Fans immediately questioned whether this was just a one-time outburst or something much deeper. Rasheeda has stayed quiet so far, but insiders say she's devastated and thinking about leaving. Even people at VH1 are worried this could damage not only Kirk's career, but also the show's reputation. On set, under the bright studio lights, everything seemed normal from the outside. Cameras were ready, assistants were making final touches, and makeup artists were fixing cast members' looks. Kirk walked in looking tense, his face tight with emotion. Rasheeda sat in a corner scrolling on her phone, trying to stay calm. But those who knew her could tell something was wrong. The air felt heavy, like something bad was about to happen. Before filming started, Kirk had seen some messages on Rasheeda's phone. They weren't flirty or messy, just her venting to a friend about their problems. In one of them, she wrote, "I don't know how much longer I can pretend this marriage is okay." Kirk didn't say anything at the time, but it clearly hit a nerve. He took his spot on set, holding in his anger. The scene they were about to shoot was supposed to be simple, a conversation about their son's school issues. But once the director yelled, "Action!" Kirk couldn't stick to the plan. He suddenly exploded. "Is that how you really feel? Pretending for the cameras but bashing me behind my back?" His voice was sharp and full of hurt. Rasheeda looked up, startled. This wasn't scripted. "What are you talking about?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Your texts. I saw everything," Kirk replied, stepping closer. The crew froze, unsure if this was real or part of the scene. Rasheeda's eyes grew wide. "Did you go through my phone?" she asked, barely above a whisper. "Don't play innocent," Kirk snapped. "You've been bad-mouthing me while pretending everything's fine." "That's not true, Kirk," she said, tears beginning to fall. "I just needed someone to talk to. I can't keep holding everything in. You lie, you cheat, you're never there for me. I'm drowning." Those words seemed to push Kirk over the edge. In a flash, he slapped Rasheeda across. The sound echoed through the set like a gunshot. Someone dropped a clipboard. Rasheeda stood there, stunned, slowly reaching for her cheek. For a moment, everything stopped. Then chaos erupted. Crew members rushed over. The assistant director called for security. A sound tech tried to comfort Rasheeda. Kirk just stood there, breathing hard, realizing too late what he had done. Cameras kept rolling because nobody had the presence of mind to yell, "Cut!" Word spread immediately. Someone texted a friend, "Kirk just slapped Rasheeda during filming." Within minutes, it hit social media. Rasheeda's name was everywhere while she was quietly led to her dressing room. Fans couldn't believe it, but the reports kept coming, and none of them made Kirk look good. Inside her dressing room, Rasheeda sat quietly. Her makeup was ruined, her cheek red where Kirk had hit her. She wasn't crying anymore. The tears had dried. What remained was shock and betrayal. She whispered to her stylist, "He really hit me," in front of everyone. Outside, producers argued about what to do. Some wanted to shut down production immediately. Others pushed to control the story before it got worse. But it was already out of their hands. Even though the professional cameras captured everything clearly, it was a blurry, leaked phone video that blew up first online. Kirk didn't apologize. He didn't say anything. He just got in his car and left. The first clip hit the internet. The next morning, grainy but clear enough, Kirk Frost slapping Rasheeda. The reactions were instant and harsh. Fans demanded he be fired, arrested, and canceled. Celebrities spoke up too. One rapper tweeted, "There's no excuse for this. None." A famous R&B singer posted, "I grew up watching them. This is heartbreaking." Even Mona Scott, the show's executive producer, made a statement. "Violence has no place in our production. Decisions are being made." Rumors quickly spread. Some said Kirk was suspended. Others claimed VH1 was thinking about canceling the whole season. Rasheeda stayed silent at first, but a few hours later, she posted a simple black square on Instagram. No words. Still, thousands of comments poured in. Fans urged her to leave him. "You deserve so much better," many wrote. "We love you." Behind closed doors, Rasheeda was struggling. The feelings of shame, anger, heartbreak, and confusion overwhelmed her. She didn't know whether she should stay in the marriage or press charges. But one thing was certain, things would never be the same again. Not for her, not for Kirk, not for the fans who had watched their journey over the years. What the world saw on camera was only the tip of the iceberg. The real story ran much deeper and had been hidden for a long time. Now, with Kirk's behavior exposed, the fallout had just begun. The silence after the chaos didn't last. The real wounds ran much deeper than anyone realized. Kirk's slap didn't just hurt Rasheeda physically. It shattered years of loyalty, trust, and all the times she had silently endured his mistakes. Fans had seen their ups and downs over the seasons. Cheating scandals, public fights, emotional breakdowns. But this was different. This wasn't TV drama. This was real life, and it had been caught for the world to see. Rasheeda stayed at home, following her team's advice to stay off social media and avoid the cameras. But healing wasn't coming easily. Instead, painful memories came flooding back. Times when she had forgiven Kirk. Times when she had stood by him when nobody else would. Now it felt like the whole world finally understood what she had been hiding all along. Her phone never stopped buzzing. Friends, family, cast members, everyone reaching out. Some were supportive, some were shocked, but a few weren't surprised. One castmate texted her, "We saw the signs for years. It was just a matter of time." Rasheeda stared at that message for a long while. Time. How much had she wasted hoping things would change? How many chances had she given in the name of love? Meanwhile, Kirk was lying low, hiding out at a friend's place, staying away from cameras and fans. He hadn't called Rasheeda. He hadn't apologized. Instead, he spent his time justifying what happened in his own mind, telling himself she had pushed him too far, that it wasn't as bad as it looked. But no matter how many excuses he made, the truth remained. Maybe that's why things fell apart between Rasheeda and me. He wiped his face, but I never imagined it would end up like this. The footage that was supposed to fix the situation only made it worse. People saw through it right away. They said it felt fake and manipulative, like he was just trying to avoid real responsibility. Clips from the interview went viral, but not in the way Kirk had hoped. One viewer commented, "He's not sorry for what he did, just sorry he got caught." At the same time, someone unexpected jumped into the chaos. Kirk's oldest daughter from a previous relationship. She shared a story that shocked everyone. "He's always been like this," she said. "You're just seeing it now." After saw that, it was like a dam broke. More family members, old friends, and even an ex came forward, sharing stories about Kirk's emotional outbursts, controlling ways, and toxic behavior that had stayed hidden for years. From a distance, Rasheeda watched everything happen. Each new story felt like another puzzle piece she hadn't even realized was missing. Suddenly, all the gaslighting, the manipulation, and the way Kirk always made her feel guilty started to make sense. She had carried blame that never belonged to her. Now, she was finally letting it go. Even though Kirk's public image was falling apart, some people behind the show saw a chance to profit. The producers set up a private meeting to pitch a special episode, a face-to-face between Kirk and Rasheeda. They knew it would pull in huge ratings, but there was a big issue. Rasheeda wasn't interested. Her team immediately rejected the idea. She wasn't about to give Kirk another stage for a fake apology. Still, the producers didn't give up. They came back with a better offer, full creative control, final approval over editing, and a large paycheck. Rasheeda thought about it. Part of her wanted to walk away completely. Another part knew this could be her way to end things her way. After a few days, she agreed, but only under one condition. Kirk wouldn't know she was coming until the cameras were already rolling. On the day of filming, Kirk showed up thinking it would just be him. He kept practicing his lines, ready to act humble and regretful, but when he saw Rasheeda sitting silently across from him, he froze. She didn't smile. She didn't say hello. She just waited. When the cameras started rolling, Kirk tried to speak first, but Rasheeda raised her hand. "No," she said calmly. "You've said enough. Now you're going to listen." The room went silent. "I gave you everything," she said, her voice clear. "My love, my loyalty, my patience. Even when you didn't deserve it, I stayed and fought for us. And what did you do? You made a fool out of me. You hurt me over and over." Kirk lowered his head, looking ashamed. "And when it all collapsed," Rasheeda said, "you still couldn't take real responsibility. You played the victim. You made excuses." Kirk tried to interrupt. "I was hurting too," he said softly, but Rasheeda didn't let him. "You don't get to hurt me and then cry about your own pain. That's not love. That's control. And I'm finished." Tears welled up in Kirk's eyes, but Rasheeda stayed strong. "You don't control my story anymore," she said. "I do. And this," she added, gesturing around the set, "this is my closure, not yours." Kirk had nothing left to say. Only parts of their intense meeting made it onto the show. Mostly Rasheeda's powerful words and Kirk's weak attempts to defend himself. Even those short clips exploded online. Fans praised Rasheeda for her strength, calling her an inspiration. Many women shared their own stories about leaving toxic relationships. Meanwhile, Kirk vanished from public view. His team released a short statement saying he would be taking time to focus on personal growth and healing. It sounded like a quiet exit. Maybe it was, but people close to him knew things were still messy behind the scenes. Even though Kirk was out of sight, the damage in his family grew. His children, especially his oldest daughter, were caught in the middle. Some still stood by him, But others had seen enough, especially after seeing Rasheeda reclaim her power. Kirk's mistakes were no longer just gossip. They were now a heavy burden on his whole family. His oldest daughter posted a cryptic message online. This isn't just about Kirk and Rasheeda anymore. It's about a broken family trying to heal. The post quickly spread. Some fans worried about the kids, while others blamed Kirk for all the pain he caused. The drama clearly wasn't over. Behind closed doors, new rumors started to swirl. Someone close to Kirk leaked a story. He had been secretly meeting with a former reality TV personality who used to be tied to the show. It seemed Kirk was trying to plan a comeback. The gossip spread fast. Word was he was teaming up with a former producer who had been fired years earlier to create a show that would show his side of everything. But it was too late. Nobody believed him anymore. Kirk had become the villain. And in reality TV, villains rarely get a second shot. Meanwhile, Rasheeda's life was heading somewhere completely new.